Between the hedges, Georgia dogs coming out. War Eagle flying over Jordan-Hare skies. Hotty toddy down in Oxford, rebels rise. Cowbells ringing in Starkville all night. Rocky Top singing in that Neyland light. Anchor down Vandy, black and gold pride. Gamecocks crowing in Columbia loud and wide. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Gators in the swamp, trumping all day long. Saturday nights in Death Valley, that Tiger strong. So we Razorbacks, crowd calling the hogs. Blue Reds battle Wildcats, bringing the dogs. Show me Miss Zoe, black and gold fight. Boomer Sooner running on a Saturday night. Hook 'em horns, burnt orange in the sun. 12th man standing, Aggies get it done. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score.
Welcome to this presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.
Yeah, it's Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We are back around the water cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here. My name is Nick Frazier. We'll have Water Cooler Talk Sports here around the water cooler, man. And the man, you can't see him, but you can hear him. Tell him who you are, boss man.
And it's your boy Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go. Let's get it, man.
Yes, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always, man. Thank y'all so much, as always, for rocking with us, man. But before we get into it, as always, man, I ask y'all to do me a favor all the time. If y'all don't mind, hit the subscribe button on these channels, man. At SEC Season, what I got Tez, man. At Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast, what I got Tight. Auburn Addicts TV, what I got DC Wolf. Dustin over at the Uptempo Podcast. I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Vandy Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast, man, and the Anchor Down Live Podcast on Facebook. I got at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter. I got Kid Country on YouTube, and of course the legend themselves, Bubba and the old man, Auburn Sports Talk. Also, go subscribe to JMHO Sports Talk, what I got Coach Sean on the Block Sports, what I got Coach Carr, and of course I got Dylan over at the College Loop, man. Also, man, do me a favor, man. Go mess with the people that mess with Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Shout out to our guy, DJ, man. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood with an EY. And then, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. They will support of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Make sure you go support him, man. Support the people that support us, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with that, man. Also, after that, head on down to 2371 Highway 14 in Toggleville, Alabama. What I got, Kid Country, a.k.a. Chef Country, Adeline.
Yes, sir. Gotta go there.
Well, they do it right, man. I'm telling y'all, man, make sure y'all there. We will be there October 17, 2026, man, for the Auburn versus Georgia game. Details about that will be coming soon, man. But we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us and support the people that support us as well, man. Also, man, before anything and everything else, after you do that, Follow us on our social medias, man. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. And of course on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Also visit www.watercoolertalksports.com. Again, it's www.watercoolertalksports.com for all of your written news, man. All of the sports written news in written form. Go check it out over there on the website, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as always. Marcus, man, how you feeling today, my guy? How is you going? How is you doing? Yes, Marcus had to mute himself for a minute. I guess Marcus will be back in a minute. Man, we appreciate y'all.
You can hear me? Yeah, you can hear me?
You was muted.
Oh, I was gonna say I cannot complain, man. I cannot complain, man. How are you?
I'm well, doing well, man. Can't complain. Hope all is going well with everybody that's watching us, man. We'll try to make this an interactive show. Like I said, we don't want to keep y'all too long, ladies and gentlemen. Rocking with us as well around the water cooler. It is the one, the only, your favorite fan, our favorite fan, everybody's favorite fan. It is Auburn Tigers. Tez, what's going on with you, my guy? How you feeling?
Man, what's going on? What's going on with you guys?
Man, we doing great, man. Can't complain. Can't complain at all, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us in the chat. Auburn Dad for Life, AD4L rocking with us. What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? Jay Prince Jr. Mob Ties in the chat. What's up, my guy? Hope you're feeling good. That he is Mike McKinney in the chat. What's up, Mike? How you feeling? How you feeling? P-Pass is rocking with us right now, man. What's up, P-Pass, man? How you feeling,
What's up,
man?
P-Pass?
He said we're not streak on the field. Hey, we hope we don't. We hope not. Not for A-Day at least. Not for A-Day. You know what I'm saying? He said he can't stop laughing right now. I don't know why, but it is what it is. We appreciate it, man. Mario Cannon rocking with us in the chat. What's up, Mario, man? What's up, man? How you feeling? How you feeling, man? Your favorite insider, our favorite insider, everybody's favorite insider. It is Ant the Insider is rocking with us as well. What's up, Ant? How you feeling? Then of course, Big Sarge is rocking with us as well. What's up, Big Sarge?
What's up, my dog?
So much, man, for rocking with us, ladies and gentlemen. Man, this is gonna be another interactive show tonight. As you can tell from the title, man, the 5 things that will tell you everything that you need to know about Auburn's 2026 season. That's what tonight's show is about. That's what we're gonna do. And you know, when it's interactive, you know we got to bring in the ranking board. So tonight, this is what we're gonna be doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We want to rank. We want to find the 5 things that we want to see from A-Day. Now, this list is not exclusive. Things can be added. Things can be taken away. That's the reason why at the bottom it says something else not on this list. And while we're doing this, I want y'all to be able to vote in the chat and tell us what y'all think. Who y'all feel? What do you want to see? That's the first poll we're going to do tonight. First poll we want to do right there. What do you all want to see from A-Day? You know, what is it that you all want to see from A-Day? I wish there's a way I can move that. Oh, man. Is it not a way I can move that? I guess not. So, hold up. Wait a minute. I'll bring that down real quick. We'll bring it back. What is it that you all want to see from A-Day? You can see right there at the bottom of the screen an efficient passing attack, a dominant defense, a balance from both sides of the ball, a sense of urgency and competitiveness. Which one is it that you want to see from A-Day this upcoming Saturday? Coming into the chat with us as well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the one, the only. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Kid Country. What's up, Kid? How you feeling, my guy?
What's happening?
What's up, fellas? How everybody doing, man?
Man, we're doing great, man. Doing well. Can't complain at all. Cannot complain at all. Let me see if I can put this in a better position up. Yeah, we'll put it right there. We'll just put it there because I can move my head to the side and we can still, you know, keep this thing rocking and rolling right there. As you can see at the top of the screen right there, man, there's a poll. And if you want to vote in the poll, just type in the poll in the chat. What do you want to see from Auburn from A-Day? Is where it is that we want to do right there. So just tell us what you think, man. Tell us what you think you want to see. And then we'll go from there and we'll keep popping and we'll keep moving. But before we get into that, fellas, man, let's go ahead. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Oh, now you got me covered. All right, let's put it over here. All right, we'll do that. And then we can still kind of move around and things and stuff from that nature. So it is what it is. All right. So, fellas, man, we're gonna make this list. We're gonna come up with 5 things that we want to see. And then the 5th thing that we're gonna put in there is what the fan chat is. Whatever comes in the fan chat is what we're gonna put in there as the 5th thing. So basically, we just got to come up with 4. And then whatever the fan chat is, that's what we're gonna put in there at the fifth spot. So fellas, let's get this thing rocking and rolling, man. As you can tell, and this is kind of covering up the screen here. I'm gonna hide it a little bit so people can see it, so we can have a little thing to talk about. I think stuff of that nature. But 5 things we want to see from A-Day. 5 things we want to see. Let's start with number 1. And I want to get this discussion going because A-Day is this Saturday. I don't know. I think some of us plan on making the trip up to Auburn for that game. For A-Day game. We want to see what the team looks like. We want to see what it is. We've been hearing a lot of reports and a lot of secondhand, reports from people that have had the opportunity to go to practice. But now we get the opportunity to see it ourselves. We get the opportunity to see our eyes and get to tell what we think this season will look like. Let's get this thing started off, man. Tez, what's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts on this? I got Marcus muted because I think Marcus had to step away for a minute. But what's your thoughts on this? What is one thing that you want to see from A-Day?
Oh man, all of this actually, probably the most one I'm leaning towards most is probably like everybody, that offensive line continuity. I want to see what those guys look like. Are they playing together? Are they firing off the ball? Does it look like a concert or does it look like a mosh pit? So yeah, that's what I'm looking for right off the rip. And the good thing about it is every time the offense takes the field, either side of the ball, I get to see that. So, I'm just looking at who goes out there, looking who plays well with the second unit. That's I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I think most people are looking for that offensive line continuity is what I'm looking for first.
Okay. All right. There it is. Just so everybody knows, we do have a poll going on in the chat right now. There is the poll right there. We got 2 votes in so far, and we got a lot of people saying number 3, balance from both sides of the ball is what we have right there. So, man, if you haven't had the opportunity in the chat, just type the number that you see. Just type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat, and you'll be able to, and your vote will register there in the chat to let us know what your thought process is on that. I'm gonna go with Kid Country on this. I think Marcus is still muted. I'm gonna go Kid Country on this. Kid, what do you want to see?
Yeah, we hear you, Mark.
No, he not muted no more. Okay, he was muted when I started talking. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with, I think the most important thing on this list is number 1, and it got to be number 1 for me because everything else can improve. But the number 1 thing I want to see is Alex Golesh process and imprint on this team. That's my number 1 thing I need to see, because my offensive line, defensive line, all that still got time to jail this fall. But I think his number 1 goal was to put his imprint on this team going in the spring. So I would say that's my number 1 thing.
Okay. All right. So we got offensive line continuity. That's Tez. And I think everybody agrees with that. We got Kid Country coming in and saying Alex Golesh's process and imprint on this team is where he wants to see. So we got 2. I like that one because we've heard so much about the process and how detail-oriented Alex Golesh is. We've heard from players and how it's different in Auburn this year. So now we want to be able to see, is that difference translating to the football field? So I like that one. I really like that one. Mark, what's your thoughts on this one? Which one do you want to see? Or is there something on this list that you don't see that you want to put on here?
Well, at 3, I would say intensity and effort, man. Outside of what Ted said and then what Elwood said, I want to see intensity and effort on both sides, man. How you flying around? How are you making your reads, man? Are you going full speed or are you, what we used to say, titty bopping? So that's what I want to see.
Intensity and effort. I like it. Okay, that's a good one. I guess I'll pick. And I'm gonna let everybody know. I'm gonna tell everybody, please, if you haven't already in the chat, there is a poll in the chat. Tell us what you want to see, and whatever the chat comes up with as the chat vote will be the 5th would be the fifth thing added to this list of what we want to see come A-Day. I like that. I like all three of those because when you talk about what this team has not been the past couple of years, we haven't seen consistent offensive line play. We haven't seen that. We thought we had it last year because we had a veteran offensive line. We thought we had that, but it just wasn't consistent throughout the year. So I like that. Alex Golesh's process and imprint on his team because of what we've been hearing so far this offseason. I like that one as well. Intensity and effort. I think we saw that from one side of the ball, but maybe not from another side of the ball. In situations and things, stuff of that nature. So maybe that would be good to see something like that of that nature. I'm gonna go here, man. I'm gonna go here. I want to see, and it may not be important to a lot of people, but I want to see how many people show up.
Oh man,
You want to see the attendance?
So no, hey Nick, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I was thinking in my head that if you didn't pick that, I had to say something about that. I know it for real, like that should be. It could be higher. To be honest with you,
it's a free game. I'm pretty sure the turnout gonna be nice.
It's not. No, it's not from. No. That's not the aspect I'm coming from when I say how many people show up. When I say because it's free, I do think a lot of people will be there, but also there are other, economical and other things that can kind of derail somebody deciding if they want to make the trip to Auburn or not, this weekend. But outside of that, I look at it from the perspective of looking at it like there has been a faction of fans who have basically said, man, we don't know if this guy can do it at the level of as a head coach at this level in football. Right. So I'm curious to know how many people show up. Like, are people really excited about this, or are we just or is there a minority of a group of Auburn fans that feel this way about how Alex Golesh is? Because people will show up with their attendance, and the fact that you haven't had a winning season in 5 seasons. People don't want to keep coming up and supporting something that's not producing any type of fruit.
So, question: do you think he can break a A-Day record in attendance?
That would be interesting because Gus Malzahn had the A-Day record attendance his first season. I think he had like over 78,000 people there. Almost, he had close to like 80,000 people there, or something like that. Because I was there, I remember that one vividly because I was there. That one. And I remember the whole stadium was really full. So, I'm curious to see how many people show up. Like, I want to see what will there be
program, you can tell.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to go.
The reason why Gus had so many people because people were excited to get him back on the plains in 2013. Because we saw what he did in 2010. So like when he came in 2013, he was hot as fish grease. Like people were, excited about that. So to your point, man, this would be a good gauge of the fan base. How many people? It's a free game, so there's no excuses there.
Yep.
How many people show up? And then if you get 200 players there again, all of a sudden you have an A-Day, that goes down in history.
Yep. Go ahead.
I think it blowed out, man. I think it blowed out Saturday. And here's my reasoning for that. A lot of fans anxious to see this. But I think BB17, I think he worth 25,000 alone.
Okay.
I think he worth at least 20 to 25,000 fans coming to that game alone. Because Auburn been desperate for what? A QB.
Quarterback. Yeah, true. Yeah, very true.
They've been desperate for that. So
true.
And make no mistake about it. He the face of our team. We haven't had that. You see what I'm saying? Since maybe Bo Nix. But we haven't had that to where your quarterback is the clear-cut leader of this team. And there's a lot of intrigue about that kid. So I think he good for 20,000 seats just by himself because, Auburn fans love a good quarterback and they want to see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I
That's
can't.
a great point.
That's I didn't even think of it from that perspective.
That's a great point.
Excuse me. I didn't even think of it from that perspective. Of thinking of it like that, but that makes a lot of sense. When you hear it from that perspective of like people wanting to see the quarterback and how
Yeah, they
that.
want to buy that jersey now, man. They want that jersey.
That autograph session after the game,
They
too,
want that
man.
17 jersey right now, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's interesting. And Travell made a good point. He said Gus had, I think Mario came in and said Gus had 72,000 people his first year there. And then Travell come back and said that, and that was a $5 game too. You had to pay $5 for that one. This one is free. So I'm kind of like, I'm interested in seeing like how that works, man, and things of that nature. Mario said, shout out to Tim the Tool, man. What's up, my guy? Mario said at least 20,000 will come to see the new QB. That's true. I didn't think of it from that perspective, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, man. Hey, the chat is. The poll is still open in the chat. You type 1, 2, 3, or 4 for what you want to see from A-Day. We're gonna give that a little bit more time. In the chat is up at the top. If you want to, it's up at the top. Excuse me, it's up at the top. So just type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat of what you want to see from A-Day. We're gonna get at about another three or so minutes to see what people thinking and say from there. But while they're doing that, what one thing on this list did we leave out? What did we leave out on this list? I'm gonna move this down over here so everybody can see it. What is the one thing on this list that potentially can be in one of those 4 spots on this list that we did not, because I kind of just basically picked from one person and just put all of us on there. But you looking at this list, what is one of the one things on this list that you're seeing that can potentially, usurp something that's in one of those spots right now?
Well, as people just been saying, they want to see Brown ball out, man. And my question to you guys is, since we can't really see him go full contact, which I doubt we see, what will be your measuring stick for his performance? Like, what would you look at in his mechanics, or what would it be for you guys moving forward? They be like, yeah, he gonna be something.
I'm gonna let Edward go first on this one. What's your thoughts on that one, Edward?
I just want to see him clean, efficient. I don't want to see him long time. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him if it's a second half of it, I don't want to see him. Give me 10 for 13, 10 for 14, 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? No interceptions. Just a clean, efficient game. I think that's what we need to see from him. I don't need to see 30 passes from him. Give me 10 to 15. Go 10 for 15 or 13 for 17, something like that, and just keep it clean. Couple touchdowns, no pick.
Okay. I like that one. I like that. I give you 2. I give you 2. I want to see Jordan Crawford, man. I want to see how good. I want to see Jordan Crawford dominate in the interior. That's just me. And the thing about it is, reason why I want to see Jordan Crawford dominate in the middle, for one, is because I've said publicly that I think this kid could be probably the best defensive player in college football when it all comes together. I think he can. That's just from watching him play and just from seeing him play in high school, seeing that, I think this kid has the ability to be one of the best to probably ever put on the Auburn football uniform when he's all said and done. That's just me personally. But
I love that kid too, man.
I'm telling you, Jordan Crawford is different. But one that intrigues me a lot is because we just spoke about Byrum Brown, right? And before we know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, you can type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat to vote in the poll, because the chat vote will be the fifth item on this list that we're gonna put on this list. So if you're in the chat and you haven't voted, you can type 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on what's in the chat poll right now, and let us know what you think there. But if we're looking towards the future right now, we're looking at Byrum Brown. We just talked about Byrum Brown a little bit about how we want to see him do well. Be efficient this A-Day game. I tell you this. I tell you what I want to. I tell you what I want to see. I want to see Tristan Tia, Lachlan Hewitt show promise. That's what I want to see. Like, because you only got 1 year with Byrum Brown in this era of college football. Who knows if anything happens, they can, they can go to a court. Some court in Alabama will probably, give an injunction and give them an opportunity to play another year if they try. But
Right.
Tristan Tia, Lachlan Hewlett, and even Rice Brush, looking at that quarterback of who's going to be the guy potentially for the next 2 years, because all of them are young. All of them are young. Like, I want to see what they look like in this game, in this A-Day game, in this simulation scrimmage, man. I want to see what they look like, because even if, God forbid, something happens to QB1, you want to know what you have behind him that can come in and still be able to be productive as an offense as well. What's your thoughts on that? I'm gonna start with Tez on that one.
Yeah, bro. I'd love to see that too. Because one of the reasons why we haven't had a quarterback is because we have had an issue developing that guy. We always have to go outside to get that guy. So yeah, to see those guys play well, and more importantly, just look like they're the future, would speak volumes for the job that Golesh has done thus far. And I know it's only been really a couple months, so he hasn't had a lot of time with these quarterbacks, but outside of Lachlan. But yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head with that one, man.
I like it. I'm surprised nobody said a balanced team.
Well, I didn't know if we was giving hours yet.
No. That's what when I went around, I wanted everybody to give theirs because I wanted them to get their number one as that particular spot. So we have 4, and then the 5th one be the fan vote.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I got like 2 of them. One of them is not on the list.
Okay.
And that's the running game. I want to see the running game look like I expect the running game to look.
Okay.
I don't want to, because in this offense, everything works if we can run the football, right?
True.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's job gets a lot easier if we can run the football, and we're gonna be running.
Yeah, we're gonna run the ball too.
Right. He's his words. We're gonna run the piss out of the ball. So I want to see that, and I want to see the running game look like a well-oiled machine. It should look like the bread and butter of our offense in the spring game, because if he's saying that the running game is that important, that means that in these couple of weeks they should have spent a shit ton of time running the football. So I want to see it looking like that. And my second one that I want to see is actually a tight end emerges, right? In this offense, they use the tight end quite a bit. We haven't had a super productive tight end. I think our leader is John Samuel Shanker, and he's at like maybe 400 yards, something around there. So like we haven't had one of those guys yet. We saw Hugh Freeze what he was able to do with Evan Ingram, and we had promised there with some of the names in there that he would be able to produce, but we see that didn't turn out well. Even fan favorite in Lutzerkirchen wasn't, in terms of stats, a overly productive tight end in terms of putting up yardage. I want to see somebody from that room challenged to be on one of those all SEC lists. That'd be amazing if we could get an all SEC second team tight end on the list or something like that.
That would be dope. And I think if you have something like that, I think that actually, I say this: if you have a tight end that emerges, I think Auburn wins. I think a tight end could potentially help Auburn win some games. A game. I'm not gonna say some, but a game, as well. In this league, because of the fact, especially when they get in the red zone. I think that's what I think it can. That's just me personally, though.
Especially if it's a solid blocker too. With the questions that we having with the offensive line, any help that we can get would be great. So we can get one of those tight ends to pick up the blocking schemes very well, as well as do what they do in the receiving game. Man, I think it could speak volumes for this offense again. And with questions of Byrum Brown and throwing mechanics, and can he do it in the SEC? man, the tight end becomes your best friend. So that would be great.
Quick game to the tight end will be his best friend.
Very true. Very true.
That's very.
Jeff just told us that's not even a word. Hey, shout out to Jeff, man. You right. I fat finger that thing. It's not supposed to be an N right there. It's supposed to be just a UI. So you are correct. My bad, buddy. Thank you so much for pointing that out to us. Thank you. Now it's fixed. Hopefully that helps. Continuity. There you go. So yeah. I mean, I look at it and hold on, you gotta take it. All right. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close the poll right there, man. I think everybody that wanted to vote voted, and it seems as if what came up was balance from both sides of the ball. So a balanced team. So we're just gonna put that over there as the fifth option, and yeah, we'll keep that thing rocking and rolling from there. So that's the list right there, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us what you think about it. When you look at that list, you know, offensive line continuity, Alex Golesh's process and imprint on this team, intensity and effort, how many people show up, you know, you want to see, and then of course the balanced team is what you'll see. You want to see from this A-Day as well. We're gonna stop that poll right there because we got another one that we gonna pop up in a minute, man. But there it is, man. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much. As always, man. Let's take a little break right here, man. And I'm gonna shout out Adelines one more time, ladies and gentlemen. He's on here, so I'm gonna let him shout it out himself. Kid Country, go ahead. Tell him about you.
Man, shout out to the kid, man. Adeline by Chef Country, where we do it right, man. 2371 Highway 14, Patagoville, Alabama, 36003. You know, where we do it right.
Like it, man. We will be there October 17th, 2026 for the Auburn Georgia game. Details coming about that soon, man. We can't wait until y'all get the opportunity to come up there, man, and check it out. It should be a good time is what it should be. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us around the water cooler, it is your favorite insider, our favorite insider, everyone's favorite insider. It is Ant the Insider. Ant, what's going on, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening?
We're doing good. We're feeling good, man. What's on? I know you just came in, but what was one of the things on that list that you want to see from A-Day?
I want to see. I ain't even see the list, but it probably ain't even on there. I want to see the chess matchup between Gordon and Durkin.
In A-Day?
Yeah, and A-Day. I believe they're gonna treat it as much as a game as they can.
Okay.
And I believe that's gonna be one of the things that you're gonna get to see is Durkin on one side and Gordon on the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I like it, man.
Bro, if I see Jordan Crawford dropping back in coverage on the zone blitz in A-Day, I'm gonna flip out.
Man,
it'll be dope. It'll be dope.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't want Durkin to show him.
Don't show all of that.
I don't want him.
I'm not saying he's gonna show everything, but I think they're gonna have a nice chess matchup though between basic formations and stuff.
Okay. All right, then. Shout out to D-Lev and Jay. He said, what's up, fellas? How you feeling? What's up, D-Lev? Hope you feeling good. Mario Cannon Rocket, what he said, I want to see the O-line hold up against our great front seven. I need them to be a solid unit. That is very true, man. I agree with that. Big Sergeant in the chat saying O-line continuity, BB17 balling, AG's imprint, and a dominant defense is what he wants to see from A-Day, man. Mario comes back and says, man, none of it matters without a solid O-line. His imprint already on the team. They're not practicing on the team. They're not practicing listening to Amazing Grace anymore. That's a good stuff. Yeah, okay.
You know what? I'm not even gonna bring up the music. Bring up the music.
Big Sorry said, man, I'm guessing. He said guessing somewhere between 55 and 60K in attendance. Okay, that'll be solid. That'll be a solid number.
That'd be
a solid number.
I'll take the over.
Hey, you TJ in the chat. What's up, my guy? Hope you feeling good, man. Appreciate you so much, man. Alan Brooks in the chat as well, man. He said O-line continuity, AG's process with the imprint on the team, intensity and effort, and some young guns shine. Honorable mention, LOL. Right. We walk away saying we got a QB. Is that we walking away saying that you got a QB, are you more? All
next year?
No. If you walk away from, I get what he's saying by saying walk away. We got a QB, but has Byrum Brown not shown enough to say that we already have a QB?
Yeah, he can sit out.
Yeah,
realistically.
Yeah,
but we got to sell season tickets, so he needed to come put on the show. So
I mean, but the show,
retain the excitement.
But the show that you're gonna get, you're not gonna get to see him run the ball. So I mean,
Yeah, that's probably that's it's very true.
I don't think he's done enough to sit out.
I agree with that, Elwood. But question,
he done enough to sit out because if you listen to a head coach, he made some mistakes in that last scrimmage now. Yeah, so I don't think I don't think we put him there yet.
I'm not saying.
Speaking, I wasn't saying that he should sit out this game.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying he done enough to sit out. I'm saying hasn't he done enough already for us to be like?
No, we ain't seen him do nothing. We ain't seen him do nothing at Auburn, bro.
But
we ain't seen him do nothing in the SEC. We ain't seen him do nothing in the SEC.
I would add though, if he balls out and he ends up picking on these cornerbacks, are we nervous about our cornerback position?
I don't know. We about to get into that in a minute, so hold on to that. Tavian Upshaw, man. I think the T and Lachlan is the most important because who's going to keep the energy going if after BB leaves? Yeah, we low key hit on that before that. Mario Kennedy said, I don't see a punter option on this poll. We need a solid punter to pin teams deep and give offenses almost the entire field to go. We don't need anybody consistently starting from the 35-yard line. That is very true. That is very true. That is very true. Very true.
You got two good punters. You ain't got no. I ain't gonna say they great, but they'll
hopefully
get the
we
job.
Won't have to call on them much.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't have to depend on the punter as much as we have in the past.
Yeah. Mario, come back to man. Speaking of developing QBs, why we always have to have a QB that needs developing. Sam Levitt been developed as an example.
Sam Levitt has not been developed, in my opinion.
Well, it just depends on the developing. Like
right.
You could argue, coming off a 3,000-yard season, that Peyton Thorne was a developed quarterback when we got him.
But at the end of the day,
that's how he was pitched to us as a guy who played a lot of football up until that point. So, I mean, when we start talking about development quarterbacks, it's one of those things that if the quarterback don't play well, that's the first thing people talk about. It's like he hadn't been developed. Well, maybe it was the system. Maybe it was a lot of more things. Maybe it didn't have an offensive line. Maybe, coach was on the golf course. Like, we have no idea.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of things that go into play. Just because a guy doesn't play well, that doesn't mean he hasn't been developed. I would argue if you see a chance on the field, like if you earn your way to the field, then that's the development piece. Is how do I get on the field? And once you get on the field, you're supposedly you should be more developed than everybody else in the room. So I don't know, man. That's one of those double-edged swords. I guess you have to be careful how you use that because, like, just because a quarterback doesn't play well, that doesn't mean he hadn't been developed. Just sometimes they just not good quarterbacks.
Very true. Speaking of development, let's he said sometimes they're just trash. That's shout out to Mike. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's put this up, man. We talked about what we want to see. So let's narrow this thing down a little bit more and let's talk about position groups. Marcus had touched on it a little bit, but I want to get into a little bit of a conversation about this here, man. I'm gonna put this poll up right here, and I want you all I want people to be able to vote on this one as well, man. What position group needs to have a big day? And I think I know where this is going, but I would love to see some other answers in this poll. Just type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat based on which position group you think needs to have a big day, A-Day. And remember, it's A-Day. Remember that it is A-Day.
We counting Bucks as D-line or no?
Yeah, because they are in defense.
I was asking. I was asking.
So just type in chat 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which position group you think needs to have a big day? Says you already put. I see you put 3 in chat, which means you're looking at the offensive line. Is the offensive line the biggest question, in my opinion? I mean, I think everybody goes to the offensive line, but is it really the biggest question that Auburn has going into this season? In your opinion? I mean, you put it in there, so you think it is. So why?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest point. I mean, when you look at every other position group, you start on defense. Man, even where we were deficient at, we did a good job of shoring up those positions. Defensive line, we got bodies there. I remember when linebacker was a weak point last year, and now that looks like a strength of the team. But then you go in the offense. I think the only other position that you could probably say that there's questions on. I mean, truth be told, kind of like it was said, man, we hadn't seen Byrum Brown do any of that at Auburn. So it's fair if you have questions there. If you want to see the quarterback room like that, I can't argue with you on that. That's a very fair statement. But probably receiver room is where most people have more questions, you would argue. Because this is a group, there's that AAC thing. Can they do it in the SEC? But I just think that this offense, like when the coach says that, they ask the fans to pray for it, right? He doesn't strike me as a guy who just says stuff just to be saying it. And you go out and you get 20 bodies along the offensive line, and now that is a big number that I'm excited about. But it also tells me that you understand that you need some help, right? And you need to take as many shots at players as you can, trying to hit on 5 of them. So, and nothing goes without that offensive line. Like it just is what it is. Like a good offensive line makes play callers look like geniuses. It makes other offensive coordinators, a bad offensive lineman makes play callers look like they don't know what they're doing. Because most of all of these plays will work if you block them up right, unless you're just running something stupid into something stupid. But if you make the right call, and if you can get the offensive line to block it up right, man, most of this stuff will work. So, man, a lot of this depends on these guys. The better they are, the better this offense is. I think that this offensive group, in terms of coaches, will be they are adaptable, right? Meaning, when we think about like Hugh Freeze, he wasn't adaptable. So if he had a weak offensive line, he couldn't call plays around it. I think that this coaching staff can adapt to a weakness in the offensive line. It's just that we don't want to have to do that, right? That's going to put more pressure on our quarterback who's had an injury history. We're already talking about the backups, and we don't know exactly what we have there. We want to see that on A-Day. So we don't even want to have to put those guys in that position. And so that's why I think that the offensive line is vital to this thing. And plus, we want to run the football. And there's no way that you can line up and run the football with all these talented backs with poor offensive line play.
Facts.
What if I said you had poor offensive line play last year and you almost had 1,000-yard back?
I would say we had poor offensive line play, and we struggled to score over 17 points in a whole bunch of games.
But you also almost had 1,000-yard back.
That don't mean that if you can't put up points.
No. I'm saying to Ted's point, we want to run the football and things and stuff of that nature. We almost had 1,000-yard back, and the offensive line was not that great.
So that's why it's like, I get what you're saying, but that's why it's like it's nuances to it. Had we had a better offensive line, the passing game would have been more efficient. That same running back probably would have ran for well over that 1,000 yards.
I think the offensive line wasn't as bad. Yeah. I think last year offensive line wasn't as bad as what a lot of people assumed they was. I think you just had a bad scheme. You almost had 1,000-yard rusher when you really weren't even running the ball. So they was opening up holes in the running game. Maybe, just maybe, the last coach should have had a mentality go back to 2 years ago when he had Jaquez and Jeremiah. Maybe he should have leaned in and running the piss out the football more, because they was opening up holes. You know,
I mean,
but when you
could
put
have.
your left tackle that can't hear, when you put him in a bad situation on the road, and the guy obviously can't hear, get some of the best pass rushers in the country, that didn't look too good. You know what I mean? So,
It's amazing how
hey,
that stuck
I
around
don't.
for just one game.
Yeah,
It popped up one game and then they fixed it in the weekend. It was amazing how that happened.
Nobody
put that
said
hearing
defensive
aid in
backs.
that boy ear, man.
Nobody said defensive backs, which is kind of appalling to me. Which is a little bit of appalling to me. I mean, I get it. I understand that there's. I
that's my
understand that there's.
second though. Like
I understand that
that's
there's a
the
lot of
one.
talent in that room. When I say defensive backs, I'm talking safeties, cornerbacks, and everything. I just couldn't. I was not about to
Well, I think
break
that's
them all down.
why though. That's why I didn't, because I assumed the
That's
safeties were included in that group. If you had
So
just
okay,
said corners, I probably would put them on the list.
so okay, all
that's
right. To that point, do y'all do y'all agree that there's talent in the defensive back room?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
y'all
absolutely.
agree that there's talent? Would you all say that there's talent in the offensive line room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only one person said yes. Two people said yes.
I mean, yeah, but
I'm waiting to see,
There's
bro.
talent.
I'm waiting to see.
But talent alone on the offensive line is not like the answer. Like those guys
Yeah,
have to
like
play.
we seen Connor Lou. Connor Lou had talent. We seen Wade. He had talent. Like Ted said, it's about that
It's a group.
chemistry.
It's a group
It's about that
project.
group.
Yeah.
It's about that group, man. So when we see it on the field, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easier to judge. But to your point, Nick, yes, the cornerback room is what's making me nervous. Not, I wouldn't say the whole defensive back room, but the cornerback room specifically is what's making me nervous defensively.
Why?
yeah, I'm concerned about the corners as well, Nick. Because the corner that you bought in, I can tell you, they ain't better than the two that you let lead up there. I mean, they might be some decent guys, but where
Well,
I have confidence in, uh, I got a defensive coordinator that's, you know, that if
I
it's any
agree.
weaknesses,
I agree with 95% of what you just said, Edward, except for I think the cornerback they brought in is not better than one of the guys that left.
yeah.
I
I
agree
don't
with
think they're
that.
better than Ken Lee. I mean, I don't
I
think
think
you bought in a cornerback that's better than what Ken Lee was. I
I
don't.
think
I
he's
don't.
better.
I think
I think he's better than Canley. I think
Dre
he's better than
Jordan.
Canley.
I think Dre Jordan is almost. He would be getting talked about as one of the as a highly drafted corner. He will be at the end of this year.
I got to.
Like,
I got to see him do it. I saw Ken do it in Auburn. I ain't seen. I mean, I've been hearing about it in practice. I've been
His,
hearing
his
about it in practice against some
Yeah, I mean
AAC
that's fair.
receivers.
Hey,
I need.
I
I
mean,
that's
I need to see him
that's
when we
fair.
go to Tuscaloosa. I need to see him line
That's
up
fair.
man to man on Ryan Williams. I need to see him on CD Morgan. Them type of guys because I seen what them guys was able to do against that type of talent. I had
I
seen
mean,
Jordan do it.
he did it in the Big
KM
Ten last
wasn't.
year. He did it in the Big Ten last year at UCLA. The only reason
Yeah.
why,
I had
you didn't hear much about him from UCLA last year because UCLA was a losing team. If
he could be a
UCLA,
damn hell of a player.
no, I'm telling you, he is
I
because
just I had
Yeah,
seen it in. I
he's a
need to see
baller,
it
bro.
in Jordan-Hare.
okay.
I need to
That's
see it
fair.
in Jordan-Hare.
With all the new additions that we have, that's what I said. Like it is totally fair to say, hey, I need to see this with Auburn, especially coming off the seasons that we had where we had rosters full of talent and won 6 games, 5 games. So like to want to actually see it and see the production firsthand before you make a judgment, I am 100% on board with that. That's totally fair. But I've also
But I
like
still think Pleasant gonna be that guy, man. I think Pleasant gonna be that guy.
Pleasant
Ain't
is
nobody
also
talking
very,
about.
very talented.
So if you added Dre to this room last year, do you think what would you put him?
I'll probably put him over Ken Lee.
Cornerback too.
You put him
Yeah.
at 2?
Yeah,
I think I'll put him at 2.
Yeah.
just being
So
honest.
that's what
I'm
I'm
just being honest. I
as
put him
much
over
as I
Ken
say
Lee.
that it's fair to do that, man. It's fair to say that you need to see it. I also can't discount the fact that I watched the huddle film, the highlights, and you see the size, you see the state, you see the technique on this kid. Like he's a good corner, man. Any school would be happy to have this dude, and he would probably be in that starting rotation. He probably could start at corner at probably everywhere in the SEC. I don't know if right off the top of my head I can point to a team with two corners where both of them are better than.
So who feels the shoes of Crawford though?
That's the only one.
No, nobody.
That's the only one.
Nobody.
That's a guy who could take a whole
first
half
round
of the
corner,
field away
man.
from you. So I want to know
Nobody.
That's big shoes to fill, man.
I think that Pleasant, at least he can do at least one. I ain't gonna say he gonna fill both of them, but he could fill one. Because Crawford is different.
Man, I think y'all sleeping on Ken Lee though, man. For DJ Durkin to line up and go zero coverage against the receiver that he was going against.
Ken Lee got beat.
I seen Ken Lee make an NFL style interception in one of those games. Lined up, man. No help, no safety, nowhere over the top.
I also saw
man. You know how hard that is.
I also saw Ken Lee got beat a lot too.
You didn't see him. You didn't see him give up a lot of touchdowns though.
I saw Ken Lee.
He didn't give up a lot of touchdowns though, man.
I saw him get beat.
He didn't give up touchdowns though.
He gave up.
I think he's a solid corner, man. But
he gave up more than Crawford did.
I think he'd be pleasantly surprised by what Dre brings to the table.
Yeah, I think he will.
I mean, Ken Lee's not a bad corner at all. I mean,
no, not at all.
He's really not. But if you was to so let's just say, I think it's one cornerback in that room that was a better prospect than Ken Lee. I think Ken Lee would have been third on the list. I might try Woodby over Ken Lee. Just being honest.
Man, not last year. Not as a freshman.
I'm gonna say Woodby got exposed for his little time being in there.
Yeah, he did.
He did, but
he got a little bell run.
But I'm just saying, like, if you give him by his third year, I would say
you about to see this shit though, Ed.
Woodby gonna be, hey man, he gonna surprise some people, man. Woodby's a good corner.
He is.
Yeah, I look at it, man. I asked the question, man. Before we get into that, if you haven't voted in it already, man, type in 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat if you have not already voted. For what position group you want to see that you think needs to have a big day at A-Day.
Running back
this coming Saturday. I understand, like, okay, I understand the offensive line thing. Don't get it twisted. I feel what you're saying about the offensive line. I get it. But when I look at the situation of what the quarterback is and how this offense is run and things of that nature, I don't know if that I don't know if what you will see from this offensive line, except for when it's paired with the running game and with what the passing game wants to be, with what they want to do with the passing game. I don't know if you're gonna actually be able to see it at its full strength because of the fact that the quarterback is not live in that opinion. Because if they do, if the offensive line does let someone, if a player on the offensive line does kind of let somebody through, I guess, if that's how you want to put it, like Byrum Brown, he's gonna have to stop. He's gonna have to stop running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I look at it from that perspective of just saying, like, man, like, I don't know, man. I get it. I don't know if we're gonna really know about this off. I don't know for people that have real questions about the offensive line. I don't know if you're gonna have real questions about it until you actually see them play a game.
Yeah, my question gonna go all the way into probably November, man.
Wow. Hey, November. Okay.
No. I can't make a good assessment of the offensive line because your so-called guy you bought in for left tackle hadn't even practiced it down. So I think you still ain't seeing the complete offensive line, and then you have to think, okay, this is why Much as I love Jordan Crawford, give me one second. Much as I love Jordan Crawford, this is why I don't want to see him dominate. How do I feel about Cole Best if I see Jordan Crawford dominate? Because I seen Cole Best struggle against Florida. I seen him struggle against Miami, against those bigger, faster, physical defensive linemen like Jordan Crawford. Cole Best was not good, folks. So I don't want to see Jordan Crawford dominate. I don't, because I leave like, damn, my son getting blowed up. He got blowed up a lot of those games. You go back and watch now. But hey, I don't
as
think
a
you truly fit.
coach,
I just want to see, like, when I'm talking about offensive line, I'm talking about the whole communication factor. Can they pick up stunts? Can they pick up twists? I don't want to see free rushes at our quarterback. I don't want to see those miscommunications. And if they do see them, I want it to be very minimal. Procedural penalties, I don't want to see that. Like, I want the offensive line group to look like a clean offensive line group. There's a lot that you can't judge from a spring game, sure, but you can tell whether these guys are disciplined and whether they are doing their assignments the way that they're supposed to be doing them to a degree. And that's what I want to see. I want it to look like a disciplined group. I don't want to see, these guys all over the place. If you losing one-on-one matchups, you just losing one-on-one matchups. Like, I can't judge a player for losing a one-on-one match. I mean, this is Jordan Crawford, right? The guys that we got on defense are first team all SEC caliber talent. So, like, if they're losing one-on-one matchups to these guys, like, I'm not as mad about that, because, like, even as we said, Cole Best struggled against Florida. Well, Caleb Banks is about to go first round. Against Miami, you got Bain. Like, these are – so I expect there'll be some struggle when you playing, like, those type of players, and we got some of those guys on our team now. So, yeah, they're not going – you're not going to win.
Everybody on our schedule got them kind of guys, man. Everybody we play got those kind of guys.
This is what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is you still gonna have to try to find a way to win, which they did in some of those games. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna see this every week. You're gonna see this type of talent every week, and realistically, man, you can't. Man, who's gonna block? We can't. On one hand, we say that Jordan Crawford is unblockable in one-on-one, and then how can we judge our center for getting beat by a guy that we say is unblockable one-on-one? Like, he's gonna lose some of those reps, and that's cool. Like, if it's one-on-one blocking, but as long as you are touching them and you make an attempt to block, and there's effort there, as long as you're not letting Jordan Crawford get free rushes at your quarterback. Like, that's what we saw last year. That was alarming. Yeah, they look good in the running game, but the moment they drop back and pass, look at that Oklahoma game. R. Mason Thomas didn't even get touched on some of those plays. You just let the best pass rusher in the conference go free at your quarterback. And like, bro, that can't happen, right? Those plays are the plays that can't happen. That's what I don't want to see any of that part of it. If it's just one-on-one blocking, you're getting beat, okay, you get knocked down, you get up, go try it again, right? That's your reward in football when you get beat. Another play. All right, go give it another shot. It's either that or the sideline. I'm cool with that. I just don't want to see the miscommunications. Yeah, we got a good quarterback. Yeah, he can run, but I don't want him to have to every single time he take a snap, because we don't know who we're supposed to be blocking.
Mm.
So that's the part of it. Like, I want to see that part, the execution part from the offensive line.
I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna move on. We talk about the offensive line a lot, and for good reason it is, but I just think when you just look at what this scheme is, I don't think the offensive. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. Let me rethink this before I come out and say what I'm gonna say. I don't think the offensive line is what people think it. I don't think the offensive line is what people think what they think it should be. with the way that this scheme is ran, in my opinion. I think with them being very, very trying to be very, very nimble, trying to be very, very quick, trying to play fast, trying to get as many snaps as they possibly can in and things, stuff of that nature. I don't think, and I said it before, I just don't think I don't think they're trying to have people movers on the offensive line. And it's in the type of body or type of athlete that they are recruiting, or signing, guys that are taller, leaner, and things and stuff of that nature. They're not really like those heavy set, 330, 335, 340 type guys that you normally see, in those like, pro style West Coast pro style type offenses that you see a lot. I just think these guys just need to be nimble enough to just get in the way and just create enough space for a quarterback or a running back to get open. That's just how I see it, because the ball's gonna be out so fast that, especially in the passing game, I think the ball's gonna be out so fast that, I'm not sure that is. I think the passing game is gonna neutralize most of the pass rush, in my opinion, just from watching it a lot, just from seeing what USF tried to do, and things of that nature. I could be wrong on that, and people can have difference of opinions on that, but I'm not thinking that you're going to. I think a lot of people look at a Georgia offensive line or what Alabama's offensive line was, a couple of years ago, or what LSU's offensive line, or what Penn State's offensive line was, and things, stuff like that. I think everybody looks at that and be like, "Oh, we need to have that on this team." When I mirror it with what they're trying to do schematically, I don't think that's necessary for what they want to do. Does anybody disagree with that, or do you agree?
I do. I wholeheartedly do. I mean, I get what you're saying. And I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't agree with what you're saying, but I agree. I disagree with this. It's all cute with them little linemen and your little scheme. That's all cute. That's all fun and well. That little scheme is cute. But when you go your ass to Athens and it's 4th and 2, 3rd and 2, and you need 2 yards. When it's nut check time and you got to blow somebody out the ball at some point in football. That's when it gonna come up, when you get stuffed for them 2 yards. We've seen it time and time again. When you get stopped in the backfield, and Jordan running off the sideline celebrating, remember, we don't need that type of offensive line, because it's gonna happen. It happened with Gus. It happened with Freeze. It's gonna happen.
Did it happen with Gus though?
When you
can't.
Because I think because like
when you don't have the ability.
You just brought that up. You just brought that up about it happened with Gus Malzahn. And I want to ask, did it really happen with Gus Malzahn though? Because because I'll give you this.
In his later years.
That's what I was about to say.
In his later years.
His
when he went to recruiting the smaller linemen in his later years.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the 2013 Gus.
But Gus scheme.
As Gus went on, Gus started recruiting the smaller offensive linemen, just like what you're saying.
Was the smaller offensive line, or was an offensive tackle position that he was not recruiting well?
Yeah, but his
however you want to put it.
Because because what normally in this type of, when you see this type of scheme, normally you have one of two things or both things. Normally you have a very athletic quarterback that's fast enough that can kind of get outside, or a big enough quarterback that can run in between the tackles, or you have a really good run game, like really good running backs in the running back stable. You normally have one of those two when you have this kind of scheme, which is the reason why in this scheme they always talk about being able to run the ball very, very well, because if they can get 3-4 yards a pop running the football, when it comes to third down, now you're looking at 3rd and 1 instead of being 3rd and 4. And basically, we talking about these athletes that's playing the game in that perspective. If you're running the ball that well, majority of the time, you can get 1 yard. They can get 1 yard running the football. So I asked the question of that. I asked the question of like, did Gus really have that? Did he really have that problem though?
I mean, to a degree, he did, because we weren't. I think what Elwood is saying is those people movers, bro. When you get in the red zone, you get in those critical moments. It is a lot easier to just turn around and hand the ball off to somebody. Like that's just like a play that doesn't have a lot of guesswork to it. It's not a lot of room for error.
Very true. Very true.
If you got the bodies up front that can push people 2 yards off the football.
That's the exact situation I'm referring to, Ted. That was the situation I'm referring to.
Right. So what happens is those teams that don't have that, when they get in those situations, they got to get cute. You got to start running trick plays. You got to run a lot of eye candy, which Gus was great at in those moments. Gus ran a lot of eye candy, orbit sweeps, and all kinds of motions and stuff in those situations to create that negative flow so that they can go the other way and just create mixed matches in the run game. But yeah, you got to have something like, or you need a Byrum Brown, right? You need a quarterback that you can go to in the run game in those situations where you go from, 5-on-5. Well, I'm saying 5-on-5, but let's say you go from 6-on-6 with 6 men in the box. You got 6 men in blocking. Then you incorporate your quarterback. Now you +1 in the running game. So like little things like that make up for the fact that you don't have people movers on your offensive line. So,
but you got to look at this.
These conversations make me wonder if people are going to be upset with the play call.
That's what
that's
what
I don't know if I'm picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Because like I feel like if
are you saying we're gonna be the team that get cute, Tez? That's what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying that in this system, he's a very disciplined coach, and he's probably gonna run this system to a T. He's not gonna run the football into a disadvantage. He's not gonna throw the football into a disadvantage. There's gonna be a lot of 3rd and 2s where we're gonna be sitting there like, man, why don't you just turn around and hand the ball off? He's gonna run some sort of quick screen where he got numbers at on the outside. If it works, he's gonna look like a genius. If it doesn't work, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna be like, saying, "Oh man, we should just run the football."
Yeah, okay,
right.
I'm looking at,
and it's gonna go the other way around too.
I'm looking at something here that kind of like caught my attention when we talking about this. We talk about offense line. I'm looking at something that catches my attention. Like I wanted to look at Auburn, and I wanted to look at Georgia's offensive line, like just the players that's playing for Georgia on the offensive line. So Dontrell Glover, 6'3", 320. Ernest Green, 6'4", 320. Warren Gaston, 6'7", 360. I think he's the biggest one. Drew Bobo, 6'5", 305. I can't remember how you pronounce. No, he's not gonna play. Calhoun, 6'6", 325. Jemison, 6'4", 325. And then I come over here and I look at Auburn, right? I come over here and look at Auburn's, and I'm looking at, Kel Ellis, 6'4", 315. Derek Platt, 6'4", 315. McMahon, 6'2", 320. Cole Skinner, 6'5", 325. TJ Hendricks, 6'4", 320. Stan Ramil, 6'7", 312. But we don't even know if he's gonna play or not. I mean, he's still hurt. Ty Buster, 315. Parker Pritchard, 310. Cole Best, 315 pounds. Jacoby Ward, 350 pounds, 6'4". Like Bear Worthy, 305, one of the smaller linemen. I look at this, and I'm Joe Simmons. There's another Joe Simmons, 6'5", 322. Are we putting too much stock? Are we looking at this and saying, yo, these dudes ain't really little? I mean, because if I'm looking at these numbers, and that's low key kind of comparable to what Georgia's offensive line is what's listed.
Them two guards that they got that's listed at 330, they probably like 350. Like they are much bigger And then think about the collective.
I'm just going by what
No,
is listed. That's all. I'm just going by what's listed.
If you take 5, if you take those that group that you just listed for both teams, and you start to add up with the difference, and you do the total, you probably got like
it wouldn't be that much. It wouldn't be. I think Georgia would be.
It'd be about an NFL linebacker.
On average, I don't know about that. I think on average,
about 225 difference.
Not that much. It wouldn't be a 225-pound difference. I think on average, you're probably looking at Auburn probably being somewhere in the 6'3" range, 6'4" range, probably like 320, 325, and probably Georgia, because they got two bigger guys as at 360 and I think one at 330. You're probably looking at them saying 6'4", probably around about the same height, and you probably looking at them saying that they about 335, 340. So you probably saying maybe on average, maybe a 15 to 20-pound difference on average. But when you going lineman by lineman, they kind of. I mean, I'm looking at what's listed, and these I don't know. These are just spring rosters. These are just the spring rosters. They kind of comparable. So I'm just saying, like, are we putting too much stock into saying that this offensive line is small?
So this is the question though. Like,
I think we're putting too much stock in it, yeah. But
okay,
they are significantly small.
Going with size wise, you got to think about this too. Like, what are they best at? Because you got some linemen that are better at pass blocking than run blocking. You got some that's vice versa. So it's like you're not going, even though Georgia may be bigger, that line might be set up better for a passing game. If that you know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what kind of lineman you have.
Okay. All right.
So the difference between 330 and 305, when you're talking about running 95 plays a game, hurrying to the line of scrimmage,
it's a big difference.
I don't think that Georgia's offensive line, because of that the difference in size, could play well in this system where you asking them to just hurry up, be in condition, be in shape, constant endurance over the course of a game. I think they're more suited for that downhill running game that Georgia has, that ball control offense that Georgia has, and vice versa. I don't think that you could flip them and put our offensive line in Georgia's system and expect them to run, downhill football over the course of the game. I just, it doesn't sound like a huge difference, 20, 30 pounds here and there, but bro, it's massive when you're talking about a 300-pound person in running, knees, and endurance.
But then
all of that weight matters.
Then you gotta look at this too, Tez. If Georgia got 330 guards, that means they're running. They're more in between the tackle type, running the ball, like you said, more of a downhill. Golesh isn't like, he'll run downhill, but he's more of an outside. He's trying to get you to the outside. He's trying to make it where the outside is gonna be my best friend.
He does that. He's doing that because he's got a quarterback that runs downhill. It's just like when we had Cam, when we ran the inverted veer pretty much.
Yeah.
The quarterback is the dive, and your running backs go along the outside. That's probably the same thing that he's got, because he's got, why would you want to run Byrum Brown downhill if you're gonna run him? You don't want to try to him to try to beat people to the outside. He's not Lamar Jackson. So
I like it, man. Big Sar said you can have a good run blocking O-line, but they're deficient. But they're deficient, in pass protection. I want both aspects to be elite. Okay, I like it, man. He said if my defensive line is elite, then you can have decent cornerback play. P-Pass comes in and saying, man, Crawford is a top 20 pick next year. He also come back and said, man, Jordan put Penn State in a locker last year as well, man. When you look at his numbers from last year, they almost look like, except for the pass break, I think he had like 9 or 10 pass breakups last year or something of that nature. And I think Ken Lee had 4 or 5, somewhere in that range. But when you look at Jordan Crawford, I can't even remember what Jordan Crawford's numbers were, but they weren't like eye popping off the stat sheet because he wasn't being thrown to a lot. Yeah, nobody was throwing to him a lot. So it is what it is, man. Gregory said, man, we will see what this coaching staff is all about this year. Fix the O-line or scheme to help the O-line. We will see. I like it. Alan Brooks said, man, would you guys have Pleasant returning kickoffs or punts? I know we got to keep him healthy, but he's explosive. That's a great question, man. I actually want to have that conversation about Pleasant. I can't have it right now because we low key kind of over time, but I want to have that conversation about Pleasant as well, man. DJ is going to keep a good corner in how much man he runs. He know better than all of us put together. Yeah, he definitely knows because that's his defense. You know, he definitely knows that.
Like I said, bro. Well, I was about to say, how do you make up for Jordan Crawford? JJ Falk, not Jordan Crawford, Jay Crawford, with JJ Falk, with Jordan Crawford, with Joe Phillips, with Chris Murray coming back with that pass rush. You get after the quarterback. That's how you make up for Jay Crawford leaving, and you make up for his production. You make it easier for those corners that he had it, so he don't have to lock down the whole side of the field. You get after the quarterback's ass, and you don't even got to cover that long.
Hey, Nick. That 18-point comment, bro. I just want to say this. You got to look at the athletes that was at South Florida compared to what you're playing at Power 4. There's a big difference in that. Just because they only score 18 points on Power 4 teams doesn't mean that the offense doesn't work. Let's not forget, he was at Tennessee 2 years. So you've seen what he can do with an SEC line and an SEC type talent.
There it is.
I mean, they scored what they needed to beat them.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to put it that way. All right, man. We'll close the poll right there, man. Seems as if 67% of the people believe that the offensive line is the group that needs to have a big day at A-Day this upcoming Saturday inside Jordan-Hare Stadium, man.
What is big day from offensive line though? Like I don't I guess I don't want to put that out there. Like, man, I don't need to see no just Sports Center type blocks and stuff like that. I just don't have a bad day is what I guess what would be a good day from the offensive line. Don't have a bad one. No penalties, no free rushes, none of the stupid stuff. That's if we can get rid of that, I think we'd be fine. Like if that part of it has left with the old coach, I think every position on the field would be fine. Just the bonehead plays, bro. We get rid of that, I think we'll be okay.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Man, go ahead.
I just want one more thing. I just want to see communication from the team, bro. Like, I want to see them talking. Like, if you have a man in motion and talk to your other player, you know what I'm saying? Point it out. You know, do everything that you need to do. I don't want to see a quiet team.
You want to see somebody talking. I like it, man. And guess what we gonna do? We gonna keep talking all the way up until A-Day and past A-Day. So please believe that, ladies and gentlemen, man. Like, shout out to Dylan Caldwell. He's on TV right now at WWE Raw. Shout out to Dylan Caldwell, awesome. Sacramento Kings. Budding superstar for the Sacramento Kings in the NBA. So shout out to him as well, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking. Shout out to everybody that voted in the polls. It's a new feature that is on our little thing that we use here. So hopefully we'll expand a little bit more and we can start doing some other things with it. But it is dope, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. Kid Country, what you guys say to the people before we get up out of here, my guy?
I just don't want fans to take too much of what you see on A-Day. Don't if things don't look like what you think it should look, don't get down on the team. You know, because I said a month ago, all I want to see is a team just having fun playing football. Like Ted said, you know your protections on the offensive line. I'm not expecting perfection, especially from the offense. You know, I think it's still 5-6 months for them to gel get together. You got all summer, you got fall camp. And that's why, I ain't even mentioned my boy Duke Smith. I seen his name up there.
He was definitely on
But
the list. And that's the reason why.
I saw the kid. I've been watching him through the spring. And this is what I can tell. He's still thinking. He learning. He's still thinking. I don't expect him to blow up A-Day. But what I do expect for you to hear his name start getting a call a lot when you move into fall camp. Right now, he thinking as he playing. Once the game start to slow down and he puts it together, you'll see it. So, regardless, just go out and support the team, man. And however they look, that's how they look. But what you see in April, that's not what you're gonna see in September. They still in the learning stage. So, if Byrum Brown come out and throw an interception or two, don't get on social media talking crazy, because I know how Auburn fans is. That's the type of thing we do. Hey, he's still adjusting too. He adjusting to the speed of the SEC. He going against one of the best defensive coordinator in the entire country. That offense been catching hell all spring. You going up against the very best, man. It's hard to point to another defensive coordinator as good as the one that we got in the whole country, bro. When you think about it, hey, ain't too many people scored over 30 points in the last 2 years on this man. Maybe two teams that I could think of. Alabama back in 24 and probably Vanderbilt 25. So nobody crosses the 30 mark on Durkin. So this defense that this offense is going against, man, it's legit. It's elite. So don't take too much of it, however it looks. Just enjoy watching your team, man. But as always, man, it's good coming on Monday night, man. I'll be off on Monday, so I can get in here on time. But it's War Damn Eagle. And
there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Kid out, man. Kid out, man.
Charleston White of YouTube, aka Kid Country, aka Chef Country, has left the building. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate it so much. And what you gotta say to people before we get up out of here, my guy?
I agree with everything it was just said.
Okay. All right, then. That's it.
That's it.
All right, that's it. Say what you gotta say to people before we get up out of here, my guy.
Oh man, I agree with everything that Edward just said, man. And I think I'm gonna get me like I'm gonna print up me like a War AAC Eagles shirt.
Wow.
Wow. Because hey, we gotta do something, man. We gotta do something. But yeah, man, y'all can find me at It's SEC Season on all platforms, of course. Back to our regular schedule program this week. That means tomorrow we're going to be picking up with week 4 of our Fans versus Day series, ranking each and every single SEC game and compiling the results. And then we return on Thursday with lunch breaks. That's 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And as of right now, I'm trying to contemplate on 2 different topics. I hadn't picked one yet. But I think we're going to talk about the potential 9-game red shirt rule on Thursday. I'm not sure. But stay on the lookout for that, man. It should be a very interesting conversation on both shows.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be on there tomorrow with SEC Live ranking games for, I think it's week 4 we'll be on?
Week 4.
Week 4.
Week
man.
4.
Week 4, if I'm not mistaken, we will be ranking.
I mean, it's good.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. We're ranking 9 games for week 4. That's a lot of SEC games. I think each game except one is an SEC matchup. So
right.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
So that means we won't be on there for 2.5 hours, guys. Only got 9 games this time.
Telling y'all, man, y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna enjoy it. The godfather of interactive YouTube, man. We take y'all so much. Excuse me, as always, man. Coach G, it's been a while. What's up, Coach G, man? Call me Coach G. It's been a minute since we seen it. What's up? Salute to you. Coach G, man, we appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we about to get up out this thing.
I just remember when she was in the chat that day, he was like, what should we call you?
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I was like, Coach G,
what should we call you?
My name was call me Coach G. I was like, all right, then. What we gonna do? Yeah, what it is. It's fun. Shout out to Coach G for rocking with us, man. Hey, we'll be back. Before we do that, man, also subscribe to these YouTube channels. Most of them. Subscribe to the YouTube channels right there, man. Subscribe to @SSC Season when I got Tez, Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast. I got DC Wolf over at Auburn_TV, Dustin over at Up Tempo Podcast, Be Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. I got Vandy Chris over at the Byrum Brown Podcast and the Anchor Down Live Podcast on Facebook. And the Hookie Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter. I got Kid Country on YouTube and, of course, the legend themselves, Bubba and the Old Man, Auburn Sports Talk, man. Also, make sure that you subscribe to JMHO Sports. What I got, Coach Sean on the Block Sports with Coach Carl. And, of course, I got Dylan over at the College Loop. Also, mess with people that mess with Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Shout out to I got DJ, Day One Supporter. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood with an EY. And, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. That's my quarterback right there, man. Make sure y'all go check him out over there as well. You heard him here tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen. Adelines by Chef Country, man. 2371 Highway 14, Otagoville, Alabama. Well, we do it right, man. We will be there October 17th, 2026 for the Auburn versus Georgia game, man. Details about that will be coming soon, man. So be on the lookout for that, man. Adelines by Chef Country. But we do it right. Take a day trip over there to see I got Edward, man, at Adelines. He's there Tuesday through Saturdays, not there on Sundays or Mondays. So make sure that you are there and check him out as well. Also, man, make sure you subscribe to our social medias, man, at Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. At CoolersPod23 on Twitter, at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, and the Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook as well, man. Also, visit the website, www.watercoolertalksports.com. Again, that's www.watercoolertalksports.com. Man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as always here around the water cooler, man. Y'all have been, it's always great. Always great, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here, man. We'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back around the water cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is. As always, y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure y'all give the man upstairs above his because he deserves all the praise and all of the glory. Yes, he does, man. Yes, he does. And until then, man, till the next time we see you, we'll see you when we see you. It is, as always, one love. We out this mug. Y'all be easy. Be blessed. Peace.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.